Bible in a Year Live, Chronological Project, Week 12, Day 6, Christian Standard Bible, Judah's cities. This was the inheritance of the tribe of the descendants of Judah by their clans. These were the outermost cities of the tribe of the descendants of Judah towards the border of Edom in the Negev: Kabzeel, Eder, Jagur, Kinna, Dimona, Adada, Kedesh, Hazor, Ithnan, Ziph, Telem, Bealoth, Hazor Hadattah, Kiriath Hezron, that is Hezron, Amam, Shema, Molada, Hazar, Gada, Heshmon, Beth Pelet, Hazar Shual, Beersheba, Biziothia, Bela, Im, Ezem, El-Talad, Chesil, Horma, Ziglag, Madmana, Sansana, Leboath, Shillim, Ain, and Rimmon, 29 cities in all with their settlements. In the Judean foothills, Eshtaol, Zorah, Ashna, Zanoah, Enganim, Tapua, Enam, Jarmuth, Adullam, Succoth, Azekah, Sharaim, Adithaim, Jedera, and Jederothaim, 14 cities with their settlements. Zenan, Hadashah, Migdalgad, Dilan, Mizpeh, Joktheel, Lachish, Bozkath, Eglon, Kabon, Lama, Chitzlish, Gederoth, Beth Dagon, Nema, and Makkedah, 16 cities with their settlements. Libnah, Ether, Ashan, Iftah, Ashna, Nezib, Keilah, Akzib, and Maresha, 9 cities with their settlements. Ekron with its surrounding villages and settlements. From Ekron to the sea, all the cities near Ashdod with their settlements. Ashdod with its surrounding villages and settlements. Gaza with its surrounding villages and settlements to the brook of Egypt and the coastline of the Mediterranean Sea. In the hill country, Shamir, Jatir, Succoth, Dana, Kiriath Sana, that is Debir, Anab, Eshtemoh, Anim, Goshen, Holon, and Gilah, 11 cities with their settlements. Arab, Duma, Ishan, Janim, Beth Tapua, Afakah, Humta, Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, and Zior, 9 cities with their settlements. Ma'on, Carmel, Ziph, Juta, Jezreel, Jokdeam, Zanoah, Cain, Gibeah, and Timnah, 10 cities with their settlements. Halhul, Beth-Zur, Gedor, Maarath, Beth-Anoth, and El-Tekan, 6 cities with their settlements. Kiriath Baal, that is Kiriath Jearim, and Rabbah, 2 cities with their settlements. In the wilderness, Beth Araba, Midin, Sekaka, Nibshan, the Salt City, and En-Gedi, 6 cities with their settlements. But the descendants of Judah could not drive out the Jebusites who lived in Jerusalem. So the Jebusites still live in Jerusalem among the descendants of Judah today. Joseph's inheritance. The allotment for the descendants of Joseph went from the Jordan at Jericho to the waters of Jericho on the east, through the wilderness extending from Jericho into the hill country of Bethel. From Bethel it went to Luz, and proceeded to the border of the Archites by Ataroth. It then descended westward to the border of the Japhelites as far as the border of Lower Beth Horon, then to Gezer, and ended at the Mediterranean Sea. So Ephraim and Manasseh, the sons of Joseph, received their inheritance. Ephraim's inheritance. This was the territory of the descendants of Ephraim by their clans. The border of their inheritance went from Ataroth Adar on the east to Upper Beth Horon. In the north, the border went westward from Mikmethath. It turned eastward from Tanath, Shiloh, and passed it east of Janoah. From Janoah, it descended to Ataroth and Nara, and then reached Jericho and went to the Jordan. From Tappuah, the border went westward along the brook of Kana and ended at the Mediterranean Sea. This was the inheritance of the tribe of the descendants of Ephraim by their clans, together with the cities set apart for the descendants of Ephraim within the inheritance of the descendants of Manasseh, all these cities with their settlements. However, they did not drive out the Canaanites who lived in Gezer, so the Canaanites still live in Ephraim today, but they are forced laborers. West Manasseh's inheritance. This was the allotment for the tribe of Manasseh, son of Joseph's firstborn. Gilead and Bashan were given to Machir, the firstborn of Manasseh, and the father of Gilead, because he was a man of war. So the allotment was for the rest of Manasseh's descendants by their clans, for the sons of Abiezer, Helek, Azriel, Shechem, Hefer, and Shemida. These are the male descendants of Manasseh, son of Joseph, by their clans. Now Zelophehad, son of Hefer, son of Gilead, son of Machir, son of Manasseh, had no sons, only daughters. These are the names of his daughters: Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. They came before the priest Eleazar, Joshua son of Nun, and the leaders, saying, "The Lord commanded Moses to give us an inheritance among our male relatives." So they gave them the inheritance among their father's brothers, in keeping with the Lord's instruction. As a result, 10 tracts fell in Manasseh, beside the land of Gilead and Bashan, which are beyond the Jordan, because Manasseh's daughters received an inheritance among his sons. The land of Gilead belonged to the rest of Manasseh's sons. The border of Manasseh went from Asher to Mikmethath, near Shechem. It then went southward toward the inhabitants of En-Tappuah. The region of Tappuah belonged to Manasseh, but Tappuah itself on Manasseh's border belonged to the descendants of Ephraim. From there the border descended to the brook of Kenah. South of the brook, cities belonged to Ephraim, among the Manasseh cities. Manasseh's border was on the north side of the brook and ended at the Mediterranean Sea. Ephraim's territory was to the south and Manasseh's to the north, with the sea as its border. They reached Asher on the north and Issachar on the east. Within Issachar and Asher, Manasseh had Beth-shean, Ibleam, and the inhabitants of Dor with their surrounding villages. The inhabitants of Endor, Tanak, at Megiddo, the 3 cities of Naphath, with their surrounding villages. The descendants of Manasseh could not possess these cities because the Canaanites were determined to stay in this land. However, when the Israelites grew stronger, they imposed forced labor on the Canaanites but did not drive them out completely. Joseph's additional inheritance. Joseph's descendants said to Joshua, "Why did you give us only one tribal allotment as an inheritance? We have many people because the Lord has been blessing us greatly." "If you have so many people," Joshua replied to them, "go to the forest and clear out an area for yourselves there in the land of the Perizzites and the Rephaim, because Ephraim's hill country is too small for you." But the descendants of Joseph said, "The hill country is not enough for us, and all the Canaanites who inhabit the valley area have iron chariots, both at Beth-shean with its surrounding villages and in Jezreel Valley." So Joshua replied to Joseph's family, that is Ephraim and Manasseh, "You have many people and great strength. You will not have just one allotment, because the hill country will be yours also. It is a forest. Clear it, and its outlying areas will be yours. You can also drive out the Canaanites, even though they have iron chariots and are strong."